This is why everyone is quitting. This is the science of short workdays plus the Da Vinci method that I have created. The modern world worships hours. 8 hours of work, 8 hours of proving yourself, 8 hours of looking busy. But the nervous system doesn't obey society. It obeys nature, and nature has one rule. Human brilliance is a burst, not a marathon. Your brain was never designed for 8 hours of output. You are not built like a conveyor belt. Your mind operates in waves. Cycles of intensity, clarity, depletion, and recovery. Peak cognition lasts only 90 to 120 minutes. After that, creativity collapses. Willpower declines. Decision quality falls off a cliff. Attention shatters. Irritation rises. Motivation evaporates. Your nervous system starts shutting windows just to keep you safe. The industrial world punished you for this. Nature rewards you for this. Machines run linearly, humans run rhythmically. When you fight your biology, you destroy your potential. This is the paradox of productivity. Most people misunderstand productivity. They think productivity equals hours. But the truth is, productivity equals clarity times skill times leverage. If you multiply a confused mind by 8 hours, you get 8 hours of confusion. If you multiply a clear mind by 2 hours, you get a life's work. That's how that works. See the arithmetic? The greatest thinkers in history didn't grind. They optimized their awareness to strike when the mind was sharp. This is why the world remembers them, not for how long they worked, but for how deeply they thought. This is why I created the 3 to 5 a.m. writer. I chose 3 to 5 a.m. because I believe those are sacred hours, those are divine hours, and I believe that's when my imagination, my creativity, and my spirit is more awakened and will arise, and where I can get the best of my work, the best of my deep thoughts, the best of my creativity and my imagination out of those 2 hours, 3 to 5 a.m. I have envisioned a lifestyle, my lifestyle, my future. I want to just be able, I want my entire life to be dependable on me just focusing and creating within 3 to 5 a.m. for the rest of my life. I want to get paid millions, billions, trillions by just creating in-depth, deep output within those 2 hours. Whatever my spirit leads me, guides me, my imagination guides me, I have the faith. I am training my mind, my nervous system, to be able to push out the best work that I possibly can around that time. And your brain, your mind will actually be able to catch on sooner or later when you stay disciplined and stay committed to keep showing up every single day at those hours, because you can choose any hours throughout the day. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as you are dedicating at least 1 to 2 hours a day to your deep work. But you can get a little bit more deeper if you become more precise and more specific in where you're going to, in the times of every single day where you're going to do your work and where you're going to do your work. If you start training your mind to that you are going to do work from 5 to 7 p.m. every single day at this same desk or in this same exact room every single day, and you are telling yourself that I am going to start creating beautiful work at this time frame, in this location, in this environment, eventually in time, the more you show up every single day, in time you are going to start seeing the beautiful work that your body is going, that your mind is going to start producing. It works, believe me. So that's something that you should start practicing. These people optimize their awareness to strike when the mind was sharp. So this is why the world remembers them. This is what I like to call the Da Vinci Rhythm. And I like studying Leonardo da Vinci. I haven't really mentioned him that much in my writings and in my videos, but Leonardo da Vinci is one of the most brilliant people that I love to study. And how he lived his life is something that I model myself after right now. I mean, Leonardo da Vinci has studied so many different things. He is the God tier, he is the God tier polymath. He is the ultimate polymath. So this is the peak human work model that I have created. Leonardo da Vinci didn't follow schedules. He followed internal combustion. He worked when he was on fire and walked away when the fire dimmed. He followed a rhythm: observe, think, sketch, walk, think more, execute, retreat, repeat. This wasn't laziness. This was a neural precision. That's what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? And he intuitively understood what neuroscience discovered centuries later. Creative breakthroughs emerge from mental pacing, not mental squeezing. You get what I'm saying? The brain needs separation, wandering, movement, silence, boredom, divergence, curiosity loops, contemplation before it produces something that changes the world. Da Vinci did not take breaks. He primed his genius. The walk is not leisure. It is a portal. It is you entering the void. When you walk, the nervous system shifts into a state where ideas appear, connections form, contradictions resolve, problems simplify, vision magnifies, clarity sharpens, insights land uninvited. This is why all great thinkers, Nietzsche, Darwin, Tesla, Leonard Cohen, Jobs, Beethoven, Kierkegaard, used long walks as their primary creative engine. Walking is the original neural interface, the original version of opening 20 tabs in your mind at once. You are designed to think in motion, not in a cubicle. This is the illusion of hard work. You've been programmed to fear stillness. Why? Because when you become still, you realize how much of your life isn't yours. Stillness is rebellion. Yes, stillness is rebellion. This is why I preach and I educate and I talk heavily on being rebellious. Stillness is dangerous. Stillness exposes all the lies you inherited. So instead of clarity, society gives you tasks, alarms, meetings, schedules, deadlines, busy work, notifications, metrics, productivity tools, time management hacks. They don't want you to think. They want you to comply. You're easier to control when you're tired. You're easier to distract when you're unfocused. You're easier to manipulate when you're overwhelmed. Fatigue is not a consequence of the system. Fatigue is a feature of the system because a tired mind doesn't revolt. I talked about this in one of my last videos I wrote about it. I talked about how there was a world general and he said fatigue makes cowards of us all. And that's exactly what being overstimulated will do to you. It will make you fatigued and it will make you a coward. Why working less will create more? Why working less creates more? When you compress your work into 2 to 4 hours of sharp surgical intensity, you trigger a different psychological state. Heightened awareness, efficient problem solving, zero wasted emotion, accelerated pattern recognition, ruthless prioritization, creative leaps, obsessive focus, and flow. This is where meaningful output happens. When you stretch the same work across 8 hours, you trigger procrastination, mental drift, cognitive decay, attention fragmentation, and spiritual numbness. 8-hour workdays do not produce greatness. They never will, and they never have. They never have and they never will. They produce obedience. 2-hour work sprints produce empires. So this is why people see you as a hard worker even when you work less, because they measure effort in hours. You measure effort in impact. They see you executing clean, producing consistently, improving rapidly, articulating clearly, thinking sharply, building precisely, making moves in silence, turning ideas into artifacts, stacking results. They think you work all day, but you don't. But your secret is simple. You work when your mind is a weapon. You rest when the blade dulls. You return when the fire rises. This is the Da Vinci Rhythm. This is the Dante Rhythm. This is the future of mastery. This is why AI is the great liberator, not the threat. AI is not here to steal your purpose. AI is here to steal your busy work. So whoever is afraid of AI taking over their job or replacing them, good. It's taking over the work that you have been committed to for so long, and the system that you have been obedient for so long, and is making you less of a human doing and not a human being. AI will return humans to become human beings. AI is essential for humanity, and anybody who tells you otherwise, they don't understand AI and they don't understand the purpose of AI. They don't understand anything about AI. They just regurgitate and just think they know because they're like everybody else. They just want to just regurgitate all the information in the world or whatever about artificial intelligence, and nobody has done any deep thinking about what AI actually is, its main purpose. So you have to take the blame off the machine and put the blame more on you. Because if AI is replacing you, it's because you have already been living like a machine. AI is here to replace machines. AI is here to make machines more efficient, not to replace human beings. So the ones who understands AI, the ones who's going to be able to use AI for their benefits, for their productivity, for them to become more efficient and become more of a human, those are the ones that are going to advance and excel in the future. Those are the ones that's going to forever be future-proof. AI isn't a threat. Your mind is your biggest enemy, and it always will be. So don't blame AI. AI eliminates repetition. AI eliminates bottlenecks. AI eliminates inefficiency. AI eliminates middle management bureaucracy, which means what remains is the part only a human can do. Soul-driven creation. That's where I'm getting at. AI is removing the chains the industrial world put on your mind. And people are terrified because they've forgotten how to think beyond survival. They fear being replaced because they were never taught how to be irreplaceable. That's what I'm talking about. Irreplaceability comes from insight, imagination, vision, originality, personal mythology, narrative intelligence, emotional resonance, philosophical clarity, lived conviction. AI can replicate labor. It cannot replicate spirit. It cannot replicate your mind. It cannot replicate your imagination. This is the real reason short work days work. Short work days work for one profound reason. You stop fighting your biology and start collaborating with it. Plain and simple. You stop forcing, you start aligning. You stop grinding, you start strategizing. You stop bleeding hours, you start compounding them. You stop chasing tasks, you start building a legacy. The world teaches you to be efficient. Nature teaches you to be effective. And effectiveness wins every single time. So, this is where the philosophy will turn into command. This is why civilization taught you to worship hours. Your biology taught you to worship clarity. Your soul taught you to worship meaning. Now it's time to build a life that obeys all three. Not society, not expectation, not industrial norms, not inherited scripts, not the quiet death disguised as ability. You're going to build a sovereign system, a one-person empire from the ground up. This is how you're going to do that. Permissionless leverage, the new laws of power. The world lied to you about freedom. They said freedom comes after the job. They said freedom comes after the degree. They said freedom comes after the retirement. No, they're all liars. Freedom is the precondition to greatness, not the reward for obedience. Permissionless leverage is the new currency. Permissionless leverage is the new currency. Skills you taught yourself, projects you built alone, digital assets that work while you sleep, audiences you earned, products only you could create, ideas only your life could produce, results no one can deny. The 40-hour work week collapses the moment you realize 1 hour of the right action beats 40 hours of the wrong identity. So this is why the 9 to 5 is only one quest in your myth. The 9 to 5 is not evil, it is just so small. It gives you income, but it steals your imagination. It gives you routine, but it steals your time. It gives you structure, but it steals your potential. You don't escape the 40-hour work week by hating it. You escape it by outgrowing it. A job is just a bridge. It's not the home. It is where you pass through on your way to becoming who you're meant to become. No hero stays in the village, ever. The moment you accept the quest, you're already bigger than the path behind you. So this is how to escape the 40-hour work week in 365 hours. 1 hour a day for a whole year. Do this. Anyone can change their life in a year. Not because a year is special, but because an hour is. 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks, 365 hours With 365 hours, you can build a product, test a market, write a newsletter, grow an audience, create a skill stack, launch digital assets, build a brand, write a book, engineer a new identity, create something the world can point to and say, this is yours. 365 hours is enough to change everything, because you are not building a business, you are building leverage. And leverage compounds like spiritual interests. This is the quest I'm on. And this is what I'm telling myself, and this is what I believe. So these are the two priorities you must never lose. Everything in life reduces to two engines: people, the audience, a tribe, a constellation of minds who resonates with your signal. Attention is not vanity. Attention is oxygen. You cannot build alone in the dark. You need those who feel your frequency. Your audience breaks the chain. Your audience sets you free. Your audience funds your future. This is you building distribution. But only if you respect them, serve them, speak truth to them, give value so deeply that it alters them. Number two, you got to build a product, a solution. I don't like using the word solution, but build a product that serves and that offers better alternatives to every human, to your tribe's problems. So focus on building better alternatives, designing better lifestyles. Whatever the problem the people are facing, you are going to identify that, and you are going to build a better alternative in whichever medium or media you so desire, and you're going to offer that to them. Better alternatives. Should be the focus. A system, a tool, a transformation, something that turns your experience into value and value into income. This is what I would say value is. I think value in a way is subjective to people, but also there is a different type of value. And what I would say, what is the prime value is what's going to earn you profit is you building better alternatives to people. You offering better alternatives to people. So this is something, like I said, a product is not a business. It is a portal. A portal that converts your suffering, your insight, your skill into something another person can use to escape their own trap. You don't need money to start. You need courage and the willingness to launch before you feel ready. A digital product is the apprentice phase. It is how you learn to teach. It is how you learn to help. It is how you learn to lead. One product can change your finances. A lineage of products can change your entire bloodline. So build the product you wish existed. The world's next movements will not come from institutions. They will come from individuals. I truly believe this. From the person who was brave enough to build what they needed when no one else did. Your product should be born from your struggle, your pain, your confusion, your obsession, your breakthroughs, your worldview. That's literally what you're building the product to be able to pretty much giving you better alternatives to your own problems. And now you tested and applied it to your own self, and now you know it's proven that it works. Now you can offer it to other people and allow other people to personalize it for their own selves. This is why I don't like using the word solution, because I don't think that there is a solution to every problem, but I do believe that there's a spiritual solution to every problem. And then when you dedicate your spirit to these problems, the pain and suffering challenges that you are facing in your own life, that's the spiritual solution. And then within that spiritual solution of that product that you offer, that you created for yourself, you know that it will work for other people. You don't wait, because this product, like I said, this product will transform, because it transformed you, it will transform others. You don't wait for permission to create. You create because your soul demands it. So start simple. A guide, a template, a short course, a skill system, a framework, a transformation you can articulate, a ritual that saved you, a philosophy that changed you. Every creator begins with a single offering. Every empire begins with a single artifact. Something that says, here is the value I bring into the world. So stop worshiping effort. Start worshiping results. Start worshiping results. Start worshiping the process. Become process oriented. A person who works 12 hours a day may still lose to a person who works 1 hour with precision. Why? Because effort without understanding is just a prettier form of self-sabotage. You need to ask yourself, what generates leverage? What compounds over time? What builds long-term value? What moves without my constant presence. What strengthens my identity instead of draining it? When you align your time with your purpose, you compress your years into months and months into days. This is the secret the industrial world never wanted you to know. So become process oriented. I changed myself from saying results into process oriented because I don't even want you focusing on the results. I don't want you focusing on the outcome because results and outcome are just a distraction. Focus on the process. Even when that's what I don't like using the word solution, because solution is like a one set thing. It's like a one and done thing. This is an ongoing forever thing. Even that product that you created for yourself, you can always go back and create something better. Don't ever stop. You can always reiterate your writing. You can always refine. You can always retune something, redesign something. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be a solution. It always can be better. You can always be better. Your products can always be better. Their business can always be better. How you serve your clients and your customers, whoever you work with, can always be better. So don't ever think that it's a solution. Don't ever think that you have reached results. Keep your soul into becoming process oriented. So this is the identity upgrade from worker to sovereign. The final shift is not practical. It is psychological. You cannot escape wage labor with the identity of a wage worker. You must become a builder, a thinker, a creator, a strategist, a philosopher, a student of reality, a steward of your nervous system, a sovereign architect of your life. You need to become a polymath, a deep journalist for modern terms. This requires a death, the death of the obedient self. You got to kill the old self. You got to kill the anti-self. And a resurrection, the rise of the intentional self, the higher self. What Friedrich Nietzsche called the Übermensch. The self who chooses, the self who creates, the self who leads, the self who asks, what can I build that outlasts me? What can I build that outlasts me? This is the moment the 40-hour work week dies. Not when you quit your job, but when you quit the version of yourself who believed that this was all life could be. You were never meant to live mechanically. Machines are built for labor. Humans are built for meaning. Machines follow instructions. Humans follow vision. Machines are replaceable. Humans are legendary when they dare to build from the depths of their truth. Humans are legendary when they dare to build from the depths of their truth. You are not meant to survive your life. You are meant to shape it. Every hour you reclaim is an hour given back to your revolution. The 40-hour work week was the cage. Your mind was the key. This is the beginning of your sovereignty. This is the architecture of your future. Be the signal. Build what only you can build. Walk away from the old world. Walk away from the old self. Rise to your higher self. Walk toward the one you're creating. That's all I have for you right now. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back very soon. Take care. Bye.